Hey guys, Brady here, and I just saw Final Destination Bloodlines. So, after a 14-year hiatus and rumors that this movie was going to go straight to HBO Max, thank God it didn't, because Final Destination is a much, much bigger franchise, and it deserves a big screen. Like, if all the other movies went to the big screen, why won't this go to the big screen? And thankfully, um, whoever is running Warner Bros. Or whatever is like, yeah, send this movie to the theaters. And I want to thank whoever said that because this deserved the big screen and they put a lot of effort into this movie and I really enjoyed it. So, Final Destination Bloodlines starts off with this starts off in the 60s, late 60s, 1968 to be exact. And they there's this girl named Iris who has a premonition that the building that they're in is going to collapse and it's going to kill everybody. And that's exactly what happens. And she tries to save everybody. And I think she does save. She saves what she could. I'm not sure if she saved everyone, but she saved a lot of people. And like when the premonition starts and you just see like all the chaos and mayhem going on, it's great. You'll never look at a penny the same way again because of this snot-nosed little kid that keeps stealing pennies from a fucking fountain and throws them off the top of the building and all that. And yeah, Penny was pretty much what caused the catastrophe in this movie, amongst other things. We'll get into that later. Try to keep the spoiler free, but I think I might have spoiled some stuff already. So, but yeah, so then it cuts to, I don't know, 50 plus years later, and the granddaughter of the chick from the beginning of the movie is having like this recurring nightmare of the premonition that the grandmother had, and it's affecting her school life, and she's on academical probation because of it. And yeah, so she goes home. She wants to know why she's having these dreams. She keeps asking her family who this Irish person is, and they don't want to tell her because Iris is like a crazy lunatic who's always talking about how death is after the family, and saying that is a very weird, crazy thing to say. So she kind of like secludes herself in like this little hut in the middle of nowhere, and yeah. So our protagonist Stephanie goes to meet her, and she hands her this book of like the answers on like death and whatnot, and what to do and how to save people and whatnot, and shows you other disasters that happen throughout the movie, like the plane and the log truck and all that, which there's reference to in this movie. What was I gonna say? So yeah, one by one, people start dying in horrific ways, and yeah, this movie took a more comedic route than the other movies. I mean, there was comedic moments in the other Final Destination movies, but I think this more leaned more into the comedy aspect, which isn't a bad thing. I welcome comedy. I don't think it distracted from the narrative at all. How were the kills in this movie? The kills were good. I think the kills in like Final Destination 2 and 5 were better, but not that the kills were bad or anything. I don't know. When you see that scene in the trailer where the father falls and gets a lawnmower to the face, you do see that. I just wish we saw what his face looked like afterwards. You do see like the fucking like blades just like spinning in his face on the ground, which is pretty cool. But I wanted to see what his fucked up face looked like afterwards. But no, they just go to their second funeral that in like what 3 days it seems like, and I really like what they did with Tony Todd's character. May he rest in peace. I actually did see him at a Comic Con many, many years ago. I think it was back in like 2016, 2017. Probably 2017. And I got a picture with him. I had a nice conversation with him. I actually did ask him, are they going to make a sixth movie? And he said yes. And finally it came out after I asked him, 6 years ago? Finally came out. And it sucks he passed away. He was such a nice guy. He was probably one of the nicer people I've met. One of the nicest people I've met at a Comic-Con. I feel like most people I've met were kind of assholes. But him and Peter... Is it Peter Weller from RoboCop? Him and Peter Weller are like the two best people I've ever met at Comic-Con. Nice as can be. Especially Peter Weller. But anyway, so it was kind of sad seeing Tony Todd in this because he just looks so thin and sickly in this movie, and you could tell like did he have like cancer or something? He had some sort of illness. You could just tell it was just eating him away, and see them using him in the thumbnail of the trailer. I was like, wow, he looks bad. Like it's kind of upsetting, but. He was really good in this movie. I like what they did with his character. I like how they tie up his character in this movie too. I'm not gonna, spoiler alert. Actually, no, not spoiler alert. I don't want to spoil that. But anyway, where was I? Whatever. Okay, so got the plot out of the way. The characters in this movie, I thought Eric was a pretty cool character. He was like the sarcastic one in the movie, so I like this character a lot actually. Just the stuff he would do and say was hilarious, and he wasn't taking anything seriously. And his brother in the movie has a peanut allergy, and so everyone's about to enter like this RV. I'm not going to explain what happened earlier. But then this RV and like Eric just comes out of the house and goes nut check, and he like runs into the RV to like grab a jar of peanut butter and throw it out of the RV because he doesn't want his brother to get sick and whatnot. And then like he gets out of the RV and he says nut check again, and then he punches his brother in the dick and runs onto the RV. Eric was the best. I liked Eric in this movie. I think he got the most brutal death though, with the MRI machine, and yeah. For me, as far as deaths in a Final Destination movie, nothing will top the fence slicing that guy into like 3 or 4. I thought it's probably my favorite kill in this series. Actually, one of my favorite kills in any movie, actually. They didn't have to show it as graphic as they did, and I'm glad they did. That was gruesome. Like, you see, like have his arm get chopped off, and, like, his stomach gets cut in 3. Wow. Well, no. His stomach gets cut in 2. The third cut is his legs falling, but, yeah, so I saw this in 4DX. The 4DX was kind of disappointing. They had a 4DX trailer for this movie a couple days ago, advertising it, and I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be awesome in 4DX, and it was just a waste of $30. So, I don't know. 4DX lately has been hit or miss. Mad Max, or not Mad Max, Furiosa was terrible in 4DX. What else was terrible? The Nun 2 wasn't that good in 4DX, but like Twisters was really good in 4DX. Twisters was probably the best experience I've had with 4DX. Same with Super Mario Brothers, and John Wick 4. But lately, I feel like 4DX has just been very lackluster and disappointing, and I think I think all disaster movies should go to 40x now because of Twisters. Twisters was great. Imagine seeing 2012 in 40x, or Independence Day, or Day After Tomorrow, or I guess anything Roland Emmerich. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna give Final Destination Bloodlines 3.5 out of 5 stars. The kills, they weren't letdowns, but I was expecting a little bit more gore, concerning that this is the Final Destination franchise and they're kind of known for their over the top kills. But they weren't bad kills. They just weren't my favorite of the of the series. Although, like I said, I thought the MRI scene was pretty cool. Seeing his body just get folded and